Hi, this is Ben Kay, the Charlie FC groundsman on the Drunkard United Football Show, and you're with the gruesome twosome Sams.
It's pretty fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like it.
BT, us. It's just, the hierarchy's still intact, I believe, right?
Absolutely, especially when the mongoose is at the helm.
The mongoose knows what he's talking about. And you're well rested. You got your little quick 10-second power nap in.
Needed that bad.
Of course you did. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the Drunken United Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me is the perfect teammate, Samuel Graham. Sammy, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you, sir. How are you?
You're happier about the back and forth banter and
Yes,
and
because that's how it's supposed to work.
shit that's written on the show sheets that isn't actually written on the show sheets, but you like to imaginarily make them be on the show sheet.
Well, since I've never read the show sheet, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, well, last week on Injury Time, you made it very clear that you knew exactly what the show sheet said.
Well, I know what it should say.
It doesn't. I am a tyrant.
Yes, that we know.
Yes, you are. And a bully.
Speaking of bullies, how about you hit that fucking mute button? We're recording at Studio H, just outside our nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms.
On all podcast platforms.
Woo! I'll
That's
remember.
what you get.
I'll remember that when you all fuck up too.
Check us out on the podcast platforms.
You check us out on all podcasting platforms. Please rate, subscribe, review, and share with a footballing friend. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Sam Graham, try not to fuck this one up. How can people get in touch?
Sure, on the old interwebs, you can jump on to @DUfootballshow on the social media sites, and then DUfootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email. And as always, your friendly reminder to join the banter page, of which Sam almost got us banned, Drunkard United FC. So find that on the closed group so you can be part of all the shit talk.
And be amazed by the new introspective character that is on the Drunken United FC page. #WokeSam. Bloody fucking brilliant. It's bloody fucking brilliant, if I do say so myself.
I'm sure you do say so yourself.
I don't know who you're talking about. It's just, look, you have the name Sam, I have the name Sam. Woke Sam is somebody completely fucking different, okay?
Oh, he's different, all right.
Got nothing to do.
Very different.
Got nothing to do with me. I don't know what you're talking about. But we did get an email real quick from our boy Keith, who is one of our big Newcastle supporters. And real fast, this actually pertains to you in case, like you normally do, don't have your bet figured out yet for the show. Gentlemen, I reach out to you for a bit of help. I'm hoping Sam Graham will be willing to provide his support to a Magpie Nation and bet on Villa this Friday. Sorry, producer Mel. And Brighton next week. We need all the help we can get this month. Love the show. So very good. So can you go ahead and make those two bets for Keith?
I will do the best that I can. Sure.
And, if you bet for the other one, Newcastle's going to win. So
of course,
it'd be good for them.
For them, yeah, definitely would.
They would appreciate it.
And I told you, only for the low price of $5.99, you'll be able to get me to bet whatever you want.
Very good.
That'll make me more money than the actual betting.
That's true. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both share a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Continuing with the top 20, but it's March. It's time to start drinking the Irishes.
That's it. All right, so this week we've got the Teeling whiskey single pot still. This comes in at 92 proof and is number 15 on Whiskey Advocate's top 20 of 2020. Panel rating of 92 and runs you about 75 to 79.99 on the shelf. Triple distilled in Dublin, Teeling's debut single pot still expression, is distinctive in its unusual 50-50 mash bill of malted to unmalted barley, adding an element of virgin American oak to deliver a charismatic quality and texture. The nose is reminiscent of cinnamon breakfast cereal, with delicate touches of melon and white grape. But it's the vibrancy of the cinnamon, nutmeg, and pepper at this perfect proof that most impresses, taking a decisive lead over the soft stone and orchard fruit and glossy caramel flavors. Told you I can't read.
My balls. Plodcast. How about all the words you just got wrong there,
I'm
Killer?
not good at reading.
Me no read so good. I'm just over the watching, and it's just like it was like 5th grade book report
I
project.
was watching
all
him
over
fall
again.
down the stairs, just like slowly, just reaching for handrails,
Wow.
looking back up the stairs at you, like desperately for help. Like, help me!
It's like falling down the up escalator. Just
Yep.
kept going, perpetuating. Hit the mute button, please.
See how quickly your teammate's no longer on your side when you criticize him? So pot still is a very limited known style of Irish whiskey. Of course, we all know the single malts, which are similar to that in the regards of
A single malt and a barley.
right?
Yep.
As
One
you
location.
Scottish whiskeys as well. Ireland makes them too. There's a great debate over who made it first. Then we know the blends. The blends is what we're most commonly used to with Jameson and Tullamore and Bushmills as being blends. That's a blend of malts and single grain and pot still whiskey all mixed together. Depending on I know in the case of Tully, it's 3 different
Yes.
distillates, right? I believe with Jameson,
And pot
it's
still
just 2.
Pot still is one of them,
Yes.
which gives it that bit more body than Jameson has.
Yes. Now so you have, like I said, those 2. Then you have single grain, which ironically is not a single grain. It's a single group of grain going through one column still. So like the standard Glendalough that you've seen before. Also, Teeling makes one as well, a single grain. It's something you can get away with making quickly, and
Right.
it can be young. So it can be less than 5 years old and
Yep.
sellable. Got a little more oomph to it than a blend does, a little more rough around the edges, but like I said, a little more body to it. The pot still really it's always been a style that's been available, but it hasn't been a style that's been bottled, right?
Right.
Reasoning behind that, single malts take a while. And for those of you who don't know, no more than 10, 15 years ago, there were 3 fucking distilleries in Ireland, right? Ireland has grown leaps and
Up
bounds.
until about 3 years ago, Tullamore was the largest construction project in Ireland.
Right.
When they were building their distillery in the town of Tullamore.
Yes. So, and that's just everybody was buying whiskey from one of 3 places. Middleton, which is obviously Jameson, Bushmill Distillery, which they're really not buying much of because that's all the way up near Northern Ireland.
It's in Northern Ireland.
And then you had
The Cooley Distillery.
Right. And then you had the Cooley Distillery. Yeah.
Yep.
So the thing with a pot still is a pot still doesn't have to be a full-fledged single malt, right? So at least 50% has to be single malt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest can be mixed with whatever. So you can mix it kind of like a blended whiskey in Scotland. You can mix it with corn. You can mix it with unmalted barley. Doesn't matter. Well, again, this is a matter of being able to make things quickly, right? So distilleries that are just now opening, that are just now have facilities that over the past 10 years got to sell fucking whiskey, right? You can't live off of selling Irish gin forever, especially when all of America's selling fucking gin as well.
Right.
Which that's in a month, my friend. That's in a
Cannot
month.
wait.
But that kind of idea of a pot still is you're able to crank out something quick. Now, that being said, it was kind of like craft whiskey in America. Not all of it was particularly that great, right?
Right.
The stuff's finally starting to find legs and get age and starting to really get good. And
This is delightful.
Whiskey Advocate completely agreed because all 3 of the Irishes on this
single
list
pot stills.
are
Yep.
single pot stills. So I love the cinnamon to it. I definitely get a little bit of honey.
I don't get the pepper that they
No,
spoke about.
I get cinnamon. I definitely get cinnamon. But I don't get
cinnamon's
pepper.
there. Honey. There's almost a nuttiness to it as well.
Yeah.
It's lovely. I'm really enjoying this.
I
And
think
it's not overly hot. It's very round, full bodied. I'm happy with this.
the tropical fruit that they mention, I don't so much get. I
Nah.
equate that to the honey, to be honest with you. You know,
Yeah, I'm
maybe
with
you could say maybe it's honeydew, but to me, it's ultimately honey.
Right.
But lovely little whiskey and a great way to kick off doing our Irish whiskeys for the next few days. Or next few shows.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty great.
What else we got to do, Sammy?
We have to drink responsibly, and hopefully we get a good clank here. Good show.
That was
Beautiful. Wow.
Look at her producing something.
Can only go downhill from here.
Sammy, and then there was a little hope. With that hope comes a little opportunity. And then there's a chance to save your season. Fulham 1, Liverpool 0, Newcastle 0, West Brom 0, Leicester City 2, Brighton 1. Fulham's undefeated in the Merseyside this season.
Yeah, they are. Fulham's awesome at the moment. Remember we talked about those narrow losses that felt like wins because they played so well after playing like such shit to open the year?
Mm-hmm.
We were worried that they weren't actually going to turn any results into wins. But over the last couple of weeks, they're showing that they can. They're being shaped more and more each performance after Scott Parker and the way that he wants to play. Mm-hmm. And they're proving to be a decent little outfit.
I said it a few weeks ago. I'll say it again now. Actively rooting for them to stay up. Like I love our Newcastle boys, and I'd feel for them if Newcastle went down. I don't feel for Newcastle if Newcastle goes down.
No,
I don't feel for Brighton if Brighton goes down.
No,
I'm actively rooting for. And frankly, I think Fulham's going to be probably the 16th place team, not the 17th place team. I think both of these teams that they're now even on points with and 1 point behind are going to be behind them. It's just a matter of which one's going to be in the drop.
Yep. Absolutely. I would completely agree with that. And then you have Sheffield United picking up wins here and there also that maybe could storm back a little bit. I think West Brom's dead in the water. I think we can agree on that.
Oh, God, yes. It's over for them now.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. But if Brighton and Newcastle keep free-falling the way they are, there's always a chance. Until it's mathematically impossible, there's a chance.
Right.
And Fulham and Sheffield can both take some confidence in that and try to push on.
Right.
You know? Areola was fantastic in this game.
That save against Jota in the second half. Oh,
he was fantastic. Absolutely kept Fulham in it. Although Liverpool didn't really offer much, to be honest. But when he was called upon, he stepped up to the task brilliantly. And it was Lamina that got the goal just before halftime. And we talked about, it's kind of cliche, but we talk about that little gut punch right before you walk in. And you could tell Liverpool came out ready to fucking go in the second half. And but Fulham just defended for their lives. They got block after block after block. And they only ended up, I think, with 3 total shots on target, Liverpool.
So in the brilliance that is the Fulham supporters here in the States, when Lamina scores, whole bunch of little pictures of Super Mario doing the kick in the air.
It's pretty good.
It's brilliant.
Now,
Absolutely
I
brilliant.
have a question for Mel in regards to this game. Our boy Jason keeps calling them the shaggin' whites. So if Villa's fucking and Fulham shagging, what's going on here?
I've seen Scott Parker. Have you?
Changed it up, was wearing the gray petticoat this time.
That's right. He
Looking
was wearing
sharp.
the gray.
Oh, yeah.
That jaw was locked. He was looking studly
yeah.
on the sidelines.
Yep.
Yeah, Parker can get it easily.
Yeah. All right.
Easily.
Parker,
So
unlike Klopp, turned his back to Klopp when the whistle got blown and did the away, because he's respectful, not run out on the field and hug his goalie like they've never won a fucking game before.
But they, so how does it feel to have competition in the ladies team realm? It's not a ladies man, is it? It's the whole team.
It's the whole team. And I'd say their attraction isn't just women. I'm sure there's a lot of men that also thinks that Scott Parker can get it.
Ooh. I know the ultimate trump card. It's Fulhamish. They're in the friend zone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No.
they're too polite to seal the deal. That's the
There
thing.
you
No, but there will be one night with a lot of alcohol where a person will go, nah, fuck it, and give it a try.
There we go. Good
And
call.
then the next day, breakfast, friend zone.
Yeah,
Jurgen decides to shake up the lineup, make a lot of changes. Doesn't seem to work out.
no, they lost. Didn't work.
here's a few questions for you. I mean, he didn't start Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's a message. That's a
you're not playing well enough,
right? Which frankly he has not been. Like all the shit we like to give Robertson, he still plays very well defensively, and he's still an instigator out there on the pitch, right? Alexander-Arnold's just going one way. The problem is your job is to defend the other way, and he was getting beat a lot lately. I did like to see that they went with the two younger players in the back. Just fucking go for it.
Play players that are natural to that position, and you'd be surprised how much of a difference that makes. I thought for the most part they handled everything well. Lamina did very well in taking his goal. Did everything by the book. Good strike, far post, shot early.
Yep.
Head down, just put his foot through it and to the far side. And Allison had no chance. I mean, that's everything you look for. Complete textbook. When you're coaching the U9s, that's what you're trying to teach them.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. But other than that, I think Fulham were pretty well marshaled. Now, there were a few times, Lookman especially, Caballero as well, provided fantastic outlets and really looked dangerous on the counter. Now, Lookman, I don't...
particularly in the first half. In the second half, they obviously played more defensive, which you would expect them to do because you reach that point that once it hits the 65th minute, you're now playing in 10-minute increments.
Absolutely.
That's it. We're worrying about saving this game now.
With his ties to Everton, Ademola Lookman, seems like he kept that hatred for Liverpool because he was working his socks off, both sides of the ball.
He's been nothing but phenomenal since that penalty miss. He's been absolutely great and a key player to them. And I believe he's in on loan
from Leipzig or somebody, right?
If you survive Fulham,
buy him.
That is priority number one.
Yep,
number one,
and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, in my opinion, too. Because when he comes on, when he plays for them, they look so dangerous.
I say you find Loftus-Cheek on the cheap though, because he's not giving them goals, but he's giving them his size really takes up a lot of the pitch. He's able to hold up well, but you need to figure out how do you work Reed and Lookman off of Loftus-Cheek, and ultimately, let's face it, I think we're kind of got the answer about Mitrovic.
He's going to be a bit part player from here on out. I mean, they play better without him.
Yeah.
He's too much of a focal point when he's in the team.
Right. So, do you play two strikers with the off striker and Loftus-Cheek and him feeding them with some combination of Lamina, Reed, and Guisa behind them?
Caballero, yeah.
Right. Caballero, I think, would probably be a sub. Yeah. Would be a sub or a rotation player for them. But here's the bigger question. I really don't want to talk about Liverpool in this case, and it's not just because I'm an Everton fan. Celebrate the team that won and played a great fucking game.
I don't think Liverpool are ever going to score a goal at Anfield again.
Yeah, you know what? Right now, as of 2021, Everton Football Club has scored more goals at Anfield than Liverpool has. Thank you very much. Does Fulham stay up? Do you think they do it?
I'm starting to believe that they can. I'm really starting to believe that they can. And what I see out of Brighton and what I see out of Newcastle, like you said, I feel for our boys that support those clubs, Alan, Keith, Paul. I feel for them. But the way in which the clubs have carried themselves and the lack of Graham Potter's case, the saturation of creativity, and in Steve Bruce's case, the lack of creativity in trying to change tactics and do things to actually stay up, to be proactive and try to win games and try to get points on the board. The lack of that desire and being married to their system is kind of starting to piss me off.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have to try to win football matches. Well, and in terms of Brighton, if you're... I don't want to victim blame.
Right.
But if you're carrying something of value, right, on your walk home, stick to the main road. Don't walk in the back alleys because that's 2 smash and grabs in a row where you got your fucking pocket picked.
Yeah, precisely.
You know what I mean? If your wallet's got over $100 in it, Stick to the main road that's well lit.
Yeah, don't go back down the alley. If you go down the alley, you're looking to get jumped.
Especially when you got a cunt like Jamie fucking Vardy sitting around. You're definitely getting robbed.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about these two collectively, because I only put these two into the first segment, honestly, to go along with the fact that Fulham won, and we now have something honestly to talk about each week, which is the bottom of the table race now as we go into the last 11 to 10 games of the season here. Newcastle and West Brom ultimately offered nothing. There was a lot of play in the middle of the field, but I think that's because the two defenses just went, we're not letting you get in at all.
Right. Yep.
There were some opportunities on each side to win this game. I feel like West Brom is showing the initiative to try to win. I just don't think they have the pieces to win.
Correct. They need a goal scorer. I mean, there was talk of bringing Daniel Sturridge in from the cold, which I think he's unattached.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, he is a goal scorer. If he can stay fit, he gets goals. So why they haven't done anything about that, I don't know.
Well, and
as
they added maybe, but maybe he'll score. Maybe he'll play well. Maybe he'll score. Maybe.
But Diagne is there looks to be their most dangerous player.
Right.
Pereira's a flash player, like we saw with Watford's Pereira last season, where they can score, but they often try things that are far too audacious to actually get goals.
Yeah.
On a consistent basis. And, you know, I mean, I don't know if Big Sam knows it. I don't know, because, I mean, he also doesn't know what club he manages because he's too busy talking about what he could have done at Everton.
Yeah.
But instead of talking about his own performance. But anyway, I don't know if he realized this or understands this, but to win football matches, you actually have to score a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have a single goal scorer in their team. And for somebody like Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who I really like, the Arsenal loanee, for him to walk in and then be in the top three players in their team, where
says
he was,
something.
it's like you just lack the quality. You're a glorified championship club having a lovely day out in the Premier League.
Again,
that's it. We'll see you right back down in the championship next season. You're not ready.
Well,
not ready.
Here's the problem: is I feel like they made the jump to Big Sam was the wrong decision. It was reactionary, and then Sam completely takes your team and fucks it off.
But it wasn't reactionary.
Yeah.
Slaven Bilic's got a draw at Manchester City.
Yeah.
And
then
they sacked him.
He was already fired before the match, is also the rumor. Is that he was already fired before the match.
So they just showed up and was like, maybe they won't notice?
No, they'd already made the decision and he just didn't know it.
Oh, they had to. Yeah, of course. They had to.
Doesn't matter what he does,
there's
he's
no
fired.
way that you could justify his firing after a result like that if that was taken into consideration whatsoever.
So what I'm getting at is that they were the team when they came up. You hire Big Sam. Big Sam goes out and gets a bunch of pieces that don't necessarily fit the puzzle you're making. And then when you go down, he's going to fuck off. He's not going to come down with you. And then you're going to have to sell a bunch of pieces, including a bunch of the young pieces that got you there, because they're going to be dissatisfied that they're not playing. Like, I feel for West Brom fans because it felt like they had created a decent team that was maybe a season too early to go up, kind of like what Norwich is doing, because Norwich is now 10-point lead in the championship.
Dominating down there,
running away with it. And they're kind of thinking, okay, well, that was probably us, and we'll take our licking and we'll go down and we'll come right back up. No, Big Sam's completely fucked it. Like, you guys are going to need to be completely restructured when you go back down to the championship, and it's a crying fucking shame for an established original club to the top flight of football. It's honestly, it's a fucking shame.
It is. Slaven Bilic had a puzzle of a horse in a field that he wasn't quite done with. They fired him, and Big Sam brought a whole bunch of pieces of a puzzle for ducks.
Yeah.
And he's trying to make it look good, and it looks like absolute shite.
And moving on to the Leicester Brighton. For Leicester, short and sweet, again, this is just a big win. Both them and Manchester United really needed to get wins this weekend because the rest of the pack is starting to creep up to them for second and third. And City's starting to really distance themselves from the two of them. So Leicester really fucking needed this. You also needed to know you could win without
Madison
Barnes.
Yep.
Big fucking W for Leicester.
Yeah, once they grew into the game, they started to really dominate. But I thought Brighton, for large portions of the game, were well in front. They looked the more dangerous.
Whole first half. It was their match the entire way till right at the end.
Yep.
Again, like you said, smash and grab. Got beat over the head with a fucking blackjack twice.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to really justify that comment from me because at the end of the day, Leicester had more shots on target, had more possession. But
it all came late.
Right. For large portions of the game, I felt like Brighton were much more dangerous. But they lacked the impetus. They had another game with, 10 plus shots, one fucking goal again. They have to finish. They have to find a way to finish. Neil makes less for a reason, and now we're seeing it. Maybe Guendouzi wasn't too far off.
Right.
Danny Welbeck still can't get a consistent run in from him, and he's a player that needs that consistent run.
Lallana finally gets a goal.
To be able to find right, but to be able to find his scoring boots and find his feet, he needs a consistent run on the team. Not these 10-minute cameos in a row. It's just not going to happen.
Right. And
when he was scoring goals for Arsenal and before that for Manchester United, it was usually he was in the team 2-3 games in a row, did fuck all, and then all of a sudden scored in 4 straight. You know what I mean? Because he had that run and he was loose and ready to go and confident. But he's just not getting the look in from Graham Potter that he needs.
I see a lot of, in McAllister, who's been playing a lot lately, I see a lot of last year's Trossard in him. Like, you look at him and you go, there's talent. Like, there's a reason why he's got the 10 on the back of his jersey. Like, this is a decent young player, and he's going to be really good. He just ain't there yet. He's not there yet.
Right. And that unfortunate injury to to McConnolly.
Yeah.
Or Aaron Connolly, I mean.
Aaron Connolly, yeah.
I got McAllister back in my head again.
No problem.
Aaron Connolly, that came at such a bad time because he was playing very well. Mm-hmm. Now he is back, but he looks a little bit different of a player now.
Yeah, agreed.
A step off of it. And it'll come with time the more he plays. But when they were on that 5 or 6 or 8 game unbeaten run, whatever it was, he was integral to that, Aaron Connolly, scoring some goals and stuff. And Brighton and Sully March is a big miss. Mm-hmm. They were, a lot of them were sharing the goals around. Lamptey.
Right.
Tariq Lamptey, is that his name?
Yep, Lamptey.
Or Kyle Lamptey.
No, Tariq Lamptey.
Okay. His pace,
game changer in the early part of the season.
At least. And he's been out for 4 months.
Right.
So it's tough for them. I feel for them because they're not a very deep squad, and you can tell. But it doesn't look good. I wouldn't be surprised. You have to adjust to what happens. You have to adjust your game plan when injuries happen, when things go poorly. And Graham Potter just doesn't seem to do it, and I start to lose sympathy for them.
Hard to feel much sympathy for a team that only has 3-headed goals, head ball goals, when they got a guy who's 7 fucking 10 on their team.
Yeah.
So the Manchester Derby happened, and old Ole has now beat City at the Etihad 3 times.
First manager for Manchester United to win his first 3 games at City.
Go fucking figure. Manchester United 2, Manchester City 0. I can say this much. I don't think City blew that game. They played well. They had opportunities. United just defended exceptionally well. Henderson had a good game in the net. The 2 center backs, Lindelof and Maguire, had a really good game in the back. They were blocking shots because it wasn't like City didn't have chances. City had chances.
Oh, absolutely. And I thought Dean Henderson played very, very well.
Yeah.
A couple of fantastic saves. Also, I just want to say 35 seconds in, see what happens when you start praying to Jesus?
That is in the Drunken United FC group, boys and girls. And for those of you who don't know, one Mr. Houston is an atheist.
Thanks, Jesus. It's very funny. Fernandez had the penalty, obviously, 35 seconds in, and took it very well. Ederson guessed right, but it was well struck, well placed, and there was no chance he was getting to that.
Fair penalty, too.
Absolutely.
And, of course, that changes the pace of the game. It's just like...
But it forces City to come out, which they were always going to come out anyway because that's their style, but it gave Rashford and Martial the impetus to to counterattack, and they did. I mean, they had 4 or 5 decent efforts in that opening 15 minutes. A couple went wide. Ederson saved 1 or 2, but it was
they were pushing.
The United were off to a flyer.
Yeah,
it was fantastic from them.
And also when a team scores early, particularly in a derby. I mean, look at the Merseyside and Richarlison scores in the first 10. That completely changes what the home team's doing at that point. So how City then plays the game against United completely changes. How Liverpool played the game against Everton completely changed.
It didn't change how Pep viewed it.
No,
he just stood there with his hands in his fucking pockets.
Well, that's kind of how Pep views everything.
Yeah, that's true.
In a hoodie with red. Now, I know it's for a charity that he supports.
Is it Open Arms or something?
Yeah, it's a charity that he supports, but it's like, mate, you're the fucking blue side of the Manchester. Why fucking, like, you're playing Liverpool, you're wearing red. You know, they wear red, motherfucker, right?
Well, that was
just
like,
saying,
just
fucking saying.
Was it Bielsa that had the Manchester United teacup?
Yes.
It's like, what are you doing? Somebody take him to the club shop and get him a branded cup, please.
Please. You got him a branded.
All he has to do is talk to Klopp and Tuchel and figure out how to use his discount.
Oh, by the way, and we'll get to Leeds later, but I just want to mention this because you brought it up. His branded stool, he doesn't fucking sit on it anymore. The marketing team made him a branded stool. He was like, no, fuck you. It's not a bucket. I'm just going to squat now. Fuck off.
That's too funny. But yeah, City grew into the game as we expected they would and knew that they would. And they were absolutely peppering balls into the box. The United defense stayed strong. They, Harry Maguire and what's his name? Lindelof, I'm sorry, were fantastic. Again, Maguire, did you see him clean out Jesus?
Oh, yeah.
That was the Sam Graham tackle.
That's the fuck you.
Yeah, that's that. I know I'm going to get the ball here. Yeah. Going to get you too, mate.
Yeah. And then I'm going to stand there and just let you know.
Exactly.
I'm still here.
It was brilliant.
I'm right here. You see me?
Love that. Absolutely love that. But City pressed and pressed. They hit the angle at one point, but it was United that actually added the second goal through Luke Shaw with his right foot of all things.
I know. Great little run from him, too, to get the ball up the field and then cut inside.
Yeah, I think he's putting himself in the conversation he should have had a goal earlier, but again, right-footed and kicked it straight at Ederson, which he saved easily. But he got another chance, and this one he tucked away. It was great. I think he's putting himself in the conversation for an England call-up.
Well, I mean,
for
really,
the summer.
I haven't, obviously since Trippier has gone over to Atletico, I really haven't followed him much. So I don't know if he's thriving there or not. I don't know how it's going for him. But, I mean, that's normally been England's number one call.
He's a right back.
Yeah, I thought Shaw. No, that's right. Shaw
Shaw's
is a left back. I thought Shaw was a right back. My apologies.
Cresswell.
Sorry.
It would be Cresswell, the bloke that went to Chelsea, Chilwell, and Luke Shaw. I think would be the
left back. Wouldn't that be Alexander-Arnold? I thought because
Robertson's
Robertson's
the right back also.
I thought Robertson's the right back.
No,
that's right. Robertson's the left back.
Because he's so left-footed. It's
sorry.
funny.
My mistake. Got blocked up there. Yes.
Mel, Sam
My
only
apologies.
watches games in a mirror.
Yeah.
So everything's inverted.
Clearly, my mistake. Sorry about that. Got my two red shites confused. They're copites. They're gobshites. They're kind of the same thing. They're interchangeable. They can both fuck off. Please continue.
Hey, take a break from your island game and book him a eye doctor appointment. Will you?
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, trust me, the progressives, aka trifocals, don't work for shit anyways. 90% of the time, I look at my phone.
It works
the glasses,
12% of the time? Kind of like you're betting.
My glasses go on top of my head, or if I'm sitting on the computer, my glasses go on top of my head. Oh, please continue.
No, it was uncharacteristic, let's say, from both sides. United defended well, which you don't always see.
Right.
They took their chances, which you don't always see. And City were a bit wasteful and kind of soft, looked very vulnerable at the back. Yeah. So it surprised the hell out of me, but I thought it was a decent game. I thought it was fun to watch.
It was very fun to watch.
Some of the football on display was brilliant.
Yeah,
there was a few times Manchester United looked a bit panicky, but they survived it, and that's all you can ask for.
I got to say, for City, probably losing to United is better than losing to just say like one of the teams in the relegation battle, because that they could just write off as, we weren't there tonight. We weren't doing our thing. This probably now hyper focuses them and go, wait, motherfucker, we have a chance at the fucking quad.
Right. And
Let's
that's some of the guys on Match of the Day.
hone the fuck in.
Some of the guys on Match of the Day on Sky Sports, the link to that got shared in DUFC.
Yeah.
So watch that video. And that was one of the points that Graham Souness made, was this loss may come at the perfect time for them to humble them.
Nice little kick in the ass.
Yeah, just before they have this run-in for the end of the season where the quadruple is still on the cards.
Right.
So, and it's, as you said, a big enough game to pay attention to, right? It's not like Fulham beat them and you go, oh, well, that's a fucking fluke.
It's a one-off.
Right, exactly. It's Manchester United, who they're going to come up against teams in the Champions League. They're going to come up against teams in the latter stages of the FA Cup that are of that ilk.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to, it comes at a good time to humble them.
So I said this about Leicester, and I say this now about United. They needed this fucking win this weekend because Chelsea and Everton and West Ham, and don't look now, Tottenham, who's gotten real fucking hot, real fucking quick, are suddenly now breathing down their necks. And if they would have lost like everybody would have expected them to be, it'd be like a 2-point difference between second and fucking for both of those. For second and third, between fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh,
Yep.
suddenly it would be on a knife's edge. And to get those wins for both of those clubs was monster.
Big time. Yeah, absolutely. Big time.
Absolutely monster.
So for everybody that jumped on my back this weekend that came out of the fucking woodwork about Ole and the gym teacher doing something, I just want to tell you one thing. A blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again.
Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. Arsenal won, Burnley won.
Fuck off.
Southampton 2, Sheffield 0, Villa 0, Wolves 0. Guess nobody fucked. Tottenham 4, Palace 1, Chelsea 2, Everton 0, West Ham 2, Leeds 0. Great start for you guys. I mean, you looked lively to start the match, and
Yeah, we dominated the entire first half, most of the game, to be honest. It was great stuff. Bukayo Saka should have scored 2 goals. Aubameyang should have had another one. Ceballos hit the post at the death, and apparently the VAR went for a wee jobby
We're gonna-
when the fucking handball happened.
we're gonna get to that. Stop fucking shooting your load everywhere.
No, I'm annoyed.
It's
really annoyed.
Gotta build up the drama, man. This is a show. You gotta give it a little, a little gravitas, Come on. I was gonna say, so your worst nightmare came to fruition. Every time you watch your team play out of the back, you go, oh dear God, please don't play out of the back.
Oh, yeah.
Dear God. And finally, it all came crashing down.
Xhaka.
Xhaka just decided to kick it off somebody's chest and put it right in the back.
It's Chris Wood, of all people. So he had an opportunity to play that ball first time, right when Leno gave it to him, out wide right.
Hold on. I want to rewind it for a second, where he's standing 25 yards out, sees Bert Leno with the ball, goes, hey, me, and runs into the center of the box to the worst possible place ever. I'm going to stand on the penalty spot. Please put the ball at my feet with my back to all the play. This is a great idea.
If you watch it, right, if Bert Leno gives him the ball, Chris Wood is on the 6. So he had a chance to play that ball first time out wide to the right, which he should have done in that situation. First, in that situation, he shouldn't have received the ball.
Right, he should have never run to it in the first place.
But he did. So now what? He should have played that ball first time. Instead, he takes a touch with his left foot, which is his strong leg. The right one is barely there to even stand on. And then decides to try a clipped ball over a 6'4" forward with his weaker foot from the edge of the 6.
His
what
touch,
a cunt bag.
His touch put Chris Wood right in play. Hold on. I've got a wide open view of everything. Allow me to now make this shot harder. It's like when we play golf, you just hit it into the water and you're like, well, or hit it right in front of the water. You're like, I just wanted to challenge myself. Personal challenges.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. I could have shot it over there in the big bright green fairway where there's nothing, but I decided to scuff it right in the ground, right in front of the fucking water that goes for 200 yards. That's how I'm going to play golf today.
So annoying. So fucking annoying. I was texting with Chef Pat and one of our boys, Daryl, during the game, and we just were fucking beside ourselves. We were absolutely fucking beside ourselves.
So Then of course we go to VAR twice, and the first time completely wrong because again, much like Conte the week before, if Fulham is called for a handball when the hand is pressed firmly against the body and hits the arm just like it would have hit the leg and does nothing different, but that's considered a handball. But a defender can put their arm into the air and knock it down, and it's somehow considered natural position. The rules organization has changed it a little now to be like, if it doesn't progress towards a goal directly off of that person's play, it's not a handball. If it get so in that situation, that Fulham goal now would have counted as a goal. But again, why are you giving a set of rules to the defender that you aren't giving to an attacker? It's 22
ridiculous.
men on the field. The rules should be, 20 men on the field that are not allowed to use their hands and 2 people that are allowed to use their hands within a restricted area. The rules should be the same for every fucking player on the pitch. It doesn't matter where their arms are within the scope of things. It's stop trying to micromanage the rule.
Well, that's it. They're overcomplicating shit. I mean, I missed 3-4 years ago when the referee had discretion, and if it was intentional or you gained an advantage from it, it was called.
Yeah.
And in Chelsea's case with Conte, and in this case, it gained an advantage from it. Was it Lookman or Maja that was called for the handball? Maja?
No, it was Lamina who got called.
It was Lamina that had the Maja put it in.
Right, and it was down on his side. Yeah.
But it was, what's he supposed to do with his hand? The ball would have hit him in the thigh anyway. He did not gain an advantage from the use of his hand because it was going to hit him regardless. Actually hitting the hand made it more difficult for him.
Yeah.
Because it's not something you normally trap the ball with.
So in your case, the first one they got completely wrong. The second one they got right.
No.
Second one hit the shoulder.
Because there should have been a makeup call. Mm-hmm. I don't care if that's how it works or not. We deserved it.
You know what, Sammy? Just mid-table team problems. That's all. Let's go ahead and move on.
That's exactly what it is.
Let's go ahead and move on to Southampton and Sheffield, which I didn't even write notes for.
Oh, fuck's sake.
If you notice,
that's the only potential show title she's written down so far. You know that?
Yeah, good. Mid-table team problems, because it's a great show title. All right.
You'll be involved in that soon. Don't worry.
Heard. So Southampton, yeah, you notice that, Sammy. Look at my notes. I completely left Southampton out of that.
Nice.
Unfortunate injury for Ings, but Che Adams came in and filled in just fine and got a great goal.
What a goal. What a goal. My goodness. That was fantastic.
This is very simple. Sheffield's going down. We
already
know
who
this.
else almost had one today was Pablo Fornals for West Ham. Same sort of thing. About 20, 25 out, little half volley. Sexy, just clipped the bar, but this one went in, and it was fucking beautiful. Gave me a huge rager.
Sucked for me that Ings went out on the injury because that would have been his penalty. Yeah, that Ward-Prowse got. That would have been Ings.
For you.
Oh well, I would have hit my bet.
$100, laid it on fire.
You know what? I'm 300 in the hole. You're 700 in the hole. So as long as I'm beating you, I'm happy. The bigger thing to talk about, big win for Southampton, and I don't really want to go into it too much because I'd rather talk about one Mr. Christopher Wilder after the match. Was being asked about his side, and he's like, "Well, we've been missing some key players, yada yada yada." Yeah, there's a few we could move on from, and if I could, I'd move on from them right now.
Damn. Damn. If I had the numbers, I'd fire you myself. That's what he's saying.
If there was a transfer window right now, I would transfer you. You wouldn't be here anymore. Jesus. That is ballsy from a manager that is lucky enough that the club goes, all right, we see what's happening. Go back down to the championship and get it right.
And bring us back up, yeah.
In any other circumstance, this man would have been fired fucking back in November. Right. No doubt. Pretty brazen of you to be like, yeah, I could do without a few of you. And if I could do without a few of you right now, I'd be okay with that.
I'd do that.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd do that.
So they only have a job because the transfer window's closed.
Brazen.
Big time. Well, you know what he also just did? Plummeted their value.
Oh, God, yeah.
If he wants to move them on, everybody goes, well, we know you want to get rid of them.
Yeah, well, we know you want to get rid of that
12 million?
one.
I'll give you 6.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's what he's worth now. Gotcha.
Heard.
Well-
You actually don't even value him at all.
Well, and then you got to wonder who some of them are like.
I wonder what happened to Lise Musset. Has to be one of them because he hasn't been playing.
Well,
and he is fit now. He was on the bench.
Well-
and he was one of their bright spots last season. I thought he was fantastic. And he hasn't been playing him. I think it's ridiculous.
Here's the scary part.
Ryan Brewster?
What if Brewster's the one? Because he started Brewster and then subbed him off again. So what if it's Brewster? Mate, that's the one your club just dropped a
40
record
million or
signing
something.
on.
Yeah, 42 million.
You
something
need
like
to figure out how to
make that work.
If you go down to the championship, guess what, my friend? They're going to get rid of you before they get rid of him.
That's all right.
He ain't selling them.
Owners are Saudi. They got it.
Yeah, or they got that money.
That's pocket money.
Villa Wolves, no goals.
Fucking?
I mean, honestly,
No fucking.
Easiest way to
No, a lot
describe
of
this.
dry humping.
Yeah.
Zero
Where you're-
penetration of the goal.
It's some of the football was disgusting. It was almost like you were dry humping. And then, sometimes if your zipper's a little frayed, it hurts a bit.
Yeah.
That's, yep.
Okay, well then, great. I'm going to give you.
You were 15 once too, right?
Yes, I
Did
was.
y'all dry hump back in the 50s?
Yes, we did. I'm going to give you a real quick math equation, and we're going to move on to the next game. First half all Villa, second half all Wolves equals nothing.
Yeah. They
Pretty much
cancel
describes it.
For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Which is exactly what it was. Villa dominated, Wolves dominated, nothing fucking happened.
Nothing fucking happened.
Equaled itself out.
Yep. Spurs are getting hot at the right fucking time, man. The right fuck. I know.
It's never the right time for me to say that.
I know you're rolling your eyes, but let's think like a actual, non-biased pundit for just a moment. They are getting hot at the right fucking time.
For them, yeah. And Gareth Bale at the double again. I mean, he's loving his life right now. Very much enjoying his football. And I told you this weeks ago. So somebody hire me, please. All he needed was a run of games. He needed a run of games to get his feet under him, and he would have been good to go. And that's exactly what happened. He played 3 or 4 in a row, and then all of a sudden, you're getting fucking the Gareth Bale that Real Madrid bought 4 years ago.
2 assists.
5 years ago.
2 goals,
Something
both assisted by Harry Kane. Harry Kane gets 2 goals himself later. This is what
I'm not looking forward to this weekend.
This is what if you're a Tottenham supporter, this was what you were looking for: is Son on one side, Bale on the other, Kane down the middle. Ugh.
Yeah,
and
trouble. And then Mora behind them. He's
So-
been playing all 4 of them.
Yep. Well, he played Ali this weekend, but and then Ali played his dick off too to go along with it.
Yeah.
Now
I don't like
here's-
his new porn tash he has.
No, not a fan either.
Not a fan.
So here's my one question to you, and then we'll move on to the last 2 matches.
And he's letting his hair grow a little bit. So he's got like that very like late 70s New York.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just giggling because every
bad.
time you say something super clever, you look at me to see if I write it down.
Just desperately wants a different show title.
Title is not going to be Porn Stash. Nope. It's
damn
a
it.
different kind of show with a title like that.
Damn right it is.
So
It's my kind of shit.
is this Sam one of 2 things? Is this all of Jose's mind tricks, fuck with players, motivate them, however it is that he gets them to do? Is that what's making it click? Or is this the team saying, fuck off, we're going to do it ourselves?
That's interesting. I don't know.
It's like Ali's suddenly playing and doing well, and
I
all
think
Jose has done is fucked him off for the entire season.
I think part of it, Dele Alli is still a good footballer, and he's still wanting to play for England in the summer. I think he has to take his chance. He has no option but to be professional. So when he gets his chance, he needs to play well, or there's no way Gareth Southgate's going to even look at him. You know what I mean? So he has to.
Gareth Bale, he's not our player. He plays for Madrid. Like that just, those
Yeah, but
little,
he came up at Tottenham.
Those little Jose fucking pokes and shit that he says, that little tinkering mind fuck that he likes to do sometimes works. Like it worked with Luke Shaw when he completely fucked him off for a while. Like it's like Jose's mind fucking. So is it that, or is it like just Harry as the captain went, fuck off, we're going to start scoring goals, lads, and we don't fucking care what that bastard has to say.
I think Harry Kane is Team Mourinho. I think he's drinking the Kool-Aid. So I honestly, maybe all of them are just fit, it worked that one time, so Jose's like, all right, let's run with it.
Yeah.
And which could very well happen. But imagine that. You have 3 to 4 world-class players playing up front at the same time, and you all of a sudden are scoring goals. Not really a surprise.
One thought about
Son looks a bit sad, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Kane's my best friend.
No, he's my best friend.
And then Gareth Bale comes in and is like, listen, I've been here longer.
Yeah, he got in 1 assist right at the end just to go, hey,
Remember me?
We're friends.
And if you don't pay attention to me, I'll do what I did to Andre Gomez, and everyone will still love me.
Yes, they'll still love me because I'm an inspiration to the children, the fucking children. Nice thing for Palace, Wilf is back. I say you got to have Wilf and Eze and the new loanee for 18 months, Mateo. You got to have them all playing on the pitch at the same time,
Absolutely.
Roy.
A towering header from Benteke is fantastic.
Let's see what we got. Like, fucking run those 3 out and let's see what you got. I mean, especially you're going to have to tinker the squad going into the next offseason.
Yep.
Let's run that car ragged. See what they have to show you, so you know if you do or don't need to sell Wilf, or if you can make it work and have, you know, a good offensive threat, because the 3 of them could be pretty fucking special for a mid-table team. That could be a fucking lethal attack.
You know what pissed me off, but was beautiful in its own right? The Harry Kane goal.
Oh yeah,
where he just pulled out his pitching wedge, just laid it up there about 2 feet from the cup.
Yep, woof.
Right in the corner. No, it didn't even look up. He just knew where the goal was.
Don't mind me. Whoop.
Yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous, and I've never been so mad at something so pretty ever.
Everton losing today at Chelsea.
Saw it coming.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also, I mean, it's a place that it's a building they haven't won in. We were there on this day last year, and we saw an Everton team lose 4-0 in a shit fucking match.
Wandering through the wilderness.
Just looking
not knowing where to go.
Horrible. And then this one,
Everton were walking around like they were in a Robert Frost poem.
2 roads trying to figure everything out, huh? I see you.
Gylfi he was definitely soul searching.
Yes. But as I say that, then you look at this match where Chelsea were certainly the better side. They definitely dominated play, but it was an own goal and a penalty is what won it for Chelsea.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And Pickford, again, we talked about it last week. We'll talk about it again this week. Since Olsen, you know, came in and started playing and he's been back, he's been a fucking world beater. I mean, again, 4 or 5 monster saves. So I guess he's excited about Euros as well. But it's when you know you're not going to win them all. And for me as an Everton fan, that's an acceptable loss. You know, I look at that 2-0 and it stings a lot less than the Fulham at home 2-0, the Newcastle at home 2-1,
the Newcastle away
2-0. Like those are the ones that sting a lot more. Or Southampton early in the season when we were undefeated and top of the table, losing to them 2-0. So that's the harder part. So
I hear you. Absolutely.
So this shot is too, okay. So you can't win them all.
It happens. What I would say is you all are a much different team, arguably a little bit boring, to be honest, without James.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't
and I
disagree
don't want
with
you
that.
to become that reliant on, I mean, he's a world-class player. It's hard to not become reliant on him, but it's obviously to a lesser, much shittier extent. It's like United without Fernandes.
Right. Now, but I would say the following with that is the rest of the schedule gets pretty fucking easy for Everton. Outside of West Ham and City, everyone is behind them in the table now.
Right.
The next 3 is, it's Burnley, it's Crystal Palace, and it's Brighton. Now, that being said, knowing as an Everton fan, we're going to get 4 points out of that. But but if ever there's an opportunity, everybody else has still got to play everybody else. So here's that opportunity where we can get 9 points potentially and move ourselves and still have a game in hand against Villa, who Villa isn't playing the best of football right now. So there's an opportunity there. we're still in the hunt. We're still in the conversation here. That's for damn sure.
Right.
And finally, West Ham and Leeds. Leeds come out swinging. They don't get their way. So Bielsa and Leeds collectively stamp their feet, suck on their thumb, and hold their breath and leave as West Ham beats them.
Yeah. West Ham are flying.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. Jesse Lingard has taken this team as a loanee in a month and a half and made it his own. It's been absolutely crazy. I've never seen a lone player have this much of an impact on somebody, on a team. And he's just been absolutely brilliant. He really has. It's amazing. Thomas Suchek still playing very well. Fabianski had a couple of great saves today.
Dawson had a great game today.
Oh yeah, wonderful.
Saving one off the line.
Off the line,
yep.
yeah. Sorting his feet out really well for a big man. I was very impressed by that. Normally, you would have seen him, not him in particular, but you would have seen a center back not be able to sort their feet out and have a comedy of errors. And then falling into
last
the
year.
net.
Him last year for Watford. Yes, it would have been a comedy of errors.
So it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant from West Ham. I can't believe it, but they are the best team in London.
They really are,
and they are continuing to be. Declan Rice was fantastic again. You can't really beat it. Mikel Antonio was awesome. Worked as hard as ever. They got a good thing going down there, and I'm not sure how the Dildo brothers did it, but it's getting done.
They didn't do it. Moyes did. And by the way, Malort still tastes like shit. It's time to tell you what little we know. It is prediction time. Both of us missed, but the chicken hit. And more importantly, our boy Pat is not going to get his legs broken by the man because he finally hit a fucking bet. How about that, man? So as we feed the couple losers, I'm going to start off with I'm back to being a shitty bettor is what I'm going to go ahead and put into the Dort Spirect Cup of Losers.
There you go.
And then for you, Mr.
So
Graham.
I have my Cup of Losers bet, and it says, "This is bullshit, but at least it was better than Brian."
Little jab at Woke Sam's existence and where Woke Sam came from. Very
You're absolutely
nice.
right. So this week, Keith, I will somewhat indulge, kinda. I have a double goal scorer.
Okay.
Okay. Parlay. Two people, two blokes. Ollie Watkins and Gareth Bale to each score at any time in their respective games.
You're picking Gareth Bale to score against your side.
Hoping that it backfires.
Heard. Okay,
But if it hits, I'll be out of the woods.
there you go.
So
What's
win-win.
the money?
Win-win. Plus 834.
That's good because you're now down currently 765.
That's what I'm saying. So I'll be $70 up.
Did you just break Ollie Watkins' leg with that
Possibly.
bet?
Yeah.
It's entirely possible.
Son of a bitch.
But yeah, Ollie Watkins to score in Villa's game against Newcastle and Gareth Bale to score against my beloved Arsenal, which if it doesn't happen, I'll be very pleased.
Heard.
Right, Keith.
If it does happen, I'll be out of the woods. Or even better, Arsenal win 3-1. Gareth Bale gets their goal.
My bet's already fucked because I bet the North London Derby as well. I'll
Of course
tell
you did,
about
just to piss me off.
No, it's a very odd bet that I did because I was going to do something else. But I'll explain in a moment. Let's talk about happier things. Let's talk about.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
No
Holy-
concrete shoes, huh?
Holy fucking Christ! You finally got a W.
I know, man. It's awesome. Isn't it? It was a no stress one too, where it just didn't even have to worry about it.
I don't know. At halftime, that 1-1 might have made you go, "Ooh, wait, oh no, is this going to happen again?"
Yeah.
We didn't have you on the show a couple of weeks ago, but last week. I mean, but that Manchester United draw to fucking Palace. It's like, what a kick in the nuts was that one?
Absolutely.
Yeah, being such a heavy favorite. I mean, but yeah, that's just how shit was kind of rolling. So that's why I just picked one game, and that's what I'm going to do again this week. So I guess evidently everybody's betting on it from what I hear. So let's.
Here we go.
All right, so I finally won, and I'm going to try, and I'm not going crazy. I'm still down 1,400, so I'm just going to risk the 180 that I won last week and put that on the Tottenham against Arsenal game. I'm getting a half point at minus 180. Probably be a good day for Sammy because I'm riding the Spurs 2 weeks in a row. And me winning 2 weeks in a row, that would be,
A first this season.
Fucking unheard of. Yeah.
But but even with the draw, I still win. So I like it. And I only got to worry about one game again this week, and
Excellent.
on the same team.
Very good, very good. And yeah, it looks like we are all betting it except for Kitty. Kitty's betting a different match. So very good.
Gotcha. Well, what side of it is Sammy on?
What do you think?
Well, Graham actually bet Bale to score, hoping that he misses.
That doesn't mean
Hoping that he
anything. No, I
misses.
told you, 3-1 Arsenal with Bale to get their goal. I hit my bet and my team wins. Fucking lovely old job.
I'm actually betting a goal scorer in a certain time frame, and I'll talk. When you listen to the show, you'll have to hear it because
you're going off like a super prop.
It was, yeah, but you know what? The odds were good on it, so I liked it. It's one of those ones where you're like, when you're in England and you're sitting in front of the betting machine, you're like, wait, for $5 I can win 500 if these 20 things happen. Sure, I'll take it. Except for me, it was like, oh, I can win money if I bet this one thing. Yeah, this will probably happen, so I'll bet it. So
nice.
You remember I hit one of those bets while we were at the betting machine.
Yes, you did.
At the old William Hill. I think it was Tottenham actually to win by. I think it was win by more than 2 goals. With there to be
throw-ins and
corners involved,
and red, yellow cards and all kinds of shit.
When I was my 6th pint down at News Pub, watching the game on television with you, I was cheering corners. It made it vastly more entertaining to watch the fucking game.
We're sitting there in the middle of an English pub. He's like, come on, another corner.
Another corner.
Everybody's looking at you. He's like, I got money on this. The whole pub's like, another corner.
I won like 300 quid on it as well. It was brilliant.
Fucking bloody brilliant.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
And then we spent it all on cigars and booze.
Yes.
Well, speaking of betting machines, you still have a winning ticket over my house that you need to pick up from me.
I know. I do have to pick that up because I picked Tampa Bay to win, and I got to pick that up because
that's right.
That's code for Sam. Come pick me up and take me to the casino in West Virginia. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah, drive me out to Charlestown.
We'll get that done in the
at
next.
least I won't be paying for gas.
Cool. We'll get that done in the next week or two. I got you, brother. All right.
That's all good, man.
All right. We'll talk next week. Okay.
All right. Take it easy.
All right, brother.
See ya.
All right. I missed, so I'm now down $320, but that's okay, Sam, because it's been documented in Vegas. When injured
documented
players
at the start of the show.
When injured players leave before getting to take their penalty, I am a staggering 45-0. It's documented, Sam.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
27.5% of the time. It works 100% of the time. I'm going to bet the North London Derby, and I'm going to bet, like I said, a little bit of a prop bet. I am taking a goal to be scored by either side in the first 15 minutes at plus 200.
Huh.
That's a good bet.
That's interesting.
That's a good bet.
It's very interesting.
See, just
inside 15 minutes.
Inside 15 minutes. Actually, technically, inside of 14:59.
Okay.
That's the number. 0 to 14:59. Doesn't matter who the fuck scores it. There's a goal scored. I think there will definitely be a goal scored in the first 15 of this match.
Definitely.
Oh.
I would tend to agree with that. That's a great bet. I'm surprised you're not risking more money on it.
Well, the bet I was originally going to do, I told you about this pre-show, but worth mentioning here on the show, initially because we were saying...
No, I didn't hear it. I was asleep.
There's a lot of things he was telling you and you just weren't aware of.
That's, 90% of the conversations I have with him, he's asleep for. It doesn't matter. So I was going to take, because much like you have been saying, it's like City's going to lose one to someone they shouldn't lose to.
Yeah.
So the odds were so great. I was going to do my $100 bet split in two. I was going to put 50 on Fulham to tie City and 50 on Fulham to beat City.
Right.
Simply because, fuck it.
They're riding high at the moment.
And the win for, if they would have won, the $50 bet would have paid $800.
Right.
It's like, fuck it, go for it, right?
Yeah.
Now, because they won and City lost, I went, nope, not doing that bet because that ain't now happening.
No.
City got their loss. It's over now.
Yeah.
Walk is, I was walking up to it very quickly, like I was getting ready to buy the drugs. And then I noticed there was a cop around the corner. I turned around and went, nope, I'm leaving now. I'm going this way.
Yeah.
I'm going in the other direction. Now, that's a pretty great segment, but we give you more. We give you Kitty the Chicken.
Well, Kitty hit with her draw, and she's 6 at 14 and 14. So the other day, I went up to visit Kitty, and she was sitting on her perch very regally, which I found a touch odd. I went ahead and gave her Man United hosting West Ham, and Kitty quickly informed me of the rules of etiquette when addressing a royal.
A royal?
Apparently.
Hold on. There's an open position for a royal. You saw the interview this weekend.
Apparently, Kitty spent the weekend with the Queen, and she has bestowed the title of Duchess of Harpercoop upon the bird.
Ah, the Harbor Coop.
So now Kitty will be referred to as either Duchess or her full title, Kitty the Chicken, Duchess of Harpercoop. Now, the Queen is also an iron through and through, so I'm guessing Kitty is taking West Ham to beat United.
Yeah, most of the Royals are West Ham's, or Villa supporters, actually.
No, most of them are
just future
Arsenal.
King William.
Oh, there's
Arsenal, West
Arsenal in
Ham.
there
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, just William
Just
is
William.
William's the Villa.
No, Harry's Villa.
No, Harry's Arsenal.
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yeah, Harry's Arsenal.
Yeah, because he's a cunt.
Did you see the meme that somebody shared in the DUFC group?
No, what is it?
It said that I knew something was wrong with Harry because he supports Villa, and it was Meghan Markle dropping the bombshell in the interview.
Oh,
Somebody
well, that's
made
a bad
that.
meme.
Okay, I was gonna say no. That's how they ended up with Archie.
Yeah.
But I go get it. Villa fucks.
That's that's not an accurate meme there, but you know what is accurate? Remembering to gamble both legally and responsibly.
I love how we all get so proud of ourselves. It's brilliant.
When we nail it, we're very proud of ourselves.
That's fantastic. All right, so there are one midweek game.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the fantasy week isn't over.
Right.
But there are a couple that we can call. Well,
Okay.
actually, one of them we can call. Everything else is too close to call. I am up right now 24-15 over JB, which today's points weren't added in yet, I don't think. Russ right now is losing to Smokey 24-32. The thing is, JB's got 3 midweek games, though.
Right.
Russ only has 1 midweek game. Smokey's got 2. This is the one we can call. Villa already doubled up Ray. She has 1 midweek game, and Ray is out of games.
Well, that's because United beat City, and as a United supporter, he's not allowed to have nice things, so he got his ass whooped by Her Highness.
Big time. Geckel is up right now 36-34 over Keith, but Keith has 4 midweek games and Geckel has none.
Ooh.
So that's pretty much done for.
Yeah, Geckel's done. Participation points alone are going to get the W.
Yep. Elliot is right now beating you 35-27, but you have 3 midweek games to his 1.
And I got people who can score.
Now
too.
this is the interesting one. Brody is up 62-60 on Rob currently.
Wow.
Rob's got 2 midweek games. Brody only has 1.
That's a humdinger.
That's going to be very close. That it would be exciting to watch those points.
That's a
come
shame.
through.
Somebody's going to lose. Somebody's going to lose, and they should have won this week,
Absolutely.
scoring over 60 points.
Yep. Kenny is up right now over Alberto 32-24. Kenny has 3 midweek games. Alberto only has 1. And then Taylor is beating Chris. Chris, though, has 2. Sorry, I forgot. I got to refer to him by his Christian name, Firecock. He has 2 midweek games, and Taylor only has 1. So that'll be an interesting little match there as well.
In the case of you said it's Brody and Rob. What we like to call that is a Geckel.
Yeah. Have all the points and none of the result.
So that's going to wrap it up. Sammy, any parting words?
I do. You can always. Actually, no, I don't have any parting words.
No,
at
you
the
do.
moment.
You do.
Oh yeah.
You need to mark your body for me. Thank you very much.
I forgot about that. So I will post the picture tonight. I only lost 5 pounds.
The inside of your ass cheek will say DBAC.
It will not.
will.
It will be at a different part of my body.
I'm gonna personally put that tattoo on you. D-back on the inside of your asshole.
Well, here's a thought that I just came up with.
Uh-oh.
What if, okay, not the asshole, because that's gross, but what if Houston were to draw the words D back and then like an autograph, and then you have to get those tattooed? So technically you'd be getting Sam's
Handwriting?
handwriting tattooed on your body.
I think I'm all right.
I'm like, I'd
All right,
rather
then
tattoo his
asshole it
asshole.
is.
Yeah.
All right,
Tattoo
asshole
his
it is
asshole.
then.
Right around the circle. It's going to say
There
DBAC
you go.
right around
I was
it,
giving
in
you
a,
an
in a
out,
circle.
so it wouldn't have to be the anus.
It's not going to be my anus. I promise you that.
Okay, what's the area around it? I don't know what that's called.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be his lower back. It's going to be his lower back. So when Carly's pegging him, he
Tramp
just
stamp.
sees D back right on his trim
All right,
stamp.
this is the
Okay.
main show.
That's the kind of talk we do for injury time.
Right,
Very
this
true.
is the main show.
Very good. Very good.
No pegging here.
All right. And Sam, have you answered to the Peloton community? Have you answered to the Peloton community for letting them down and not exceeding expectations and losing well over 10 pounds, as all proud Peloton riders should?
No, because I had to take care and apologize to the DU community first.
Okay.
But so I'll be getting in touch with everybody. I'll post a picture later. $5. It was $2 a thing, so everybody owes at least $10. Some people generously donated more. I did slip on some ice and tweak my groin at one point, so I was out for about 10 days. Wasn't able to exercise.
Sat around every Saturday night drinking lots of high octane, fucking heavy calorie based beer. But
Sunday night for poker.
when you're doing poker,
Yeah.
could have just drank vodka.
That didn't help.
You sell the #1 selling vodka brand in the United States. Could have drank a little vodka and soda those nights.
Yeah, I could have, but I didn't. Also, I did want to make mention real fast as well. Me and I shared over the weekend on the DUFC group and in Charm City Gooners with what happened in our game, the 1-1, and then with the weekend we have coming up. I did the everybody was bitching, of course, and I just said, don't worry, everybody, we're part of a team. And I did the everything is awesome from the Lego movie gif.
Of course.
So I saw this beer in one of my stores today, and I know we normally save the beers for injury time, which you can find at www.patreon.com/DUfootballshow, and sign up to the top 2 tiers where you can hear us review our beers.
And yet he does it again.
Yeah.
He does it again. About to do it in the next
because
segment.
it makes
He
you
does
mad.
it again.
Yeah, because it makes you mad. That's why I do it. And but I found this beer, and it's awesome. It's called Situation Awesome.
Heard situation awesome.
Everything is awesome.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Next up is Injury Time, where we recap we preview the weekend's action. See, you got me all fucked up. You know, when the man
you are a
who's
sucker for
supposed
a pretty
to feed,
face.
when you're supposed to feed me the assists, and you're not feeding me the assists, next thing you know, I'm kicking it in fucking row Z, and I don't got it right. Come on. If you need me to make sure I put it out to you so that you put it back into the center for me to knock it off the post, then I need you to follow the fucking game plan over here, killer, okay?
I'm just happy you did the back and forth at the beginning.
Yeah, and clearly we didn't do the right back and forth at the end. So till next week, everybody.
It's all about me.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston. Sam Houston? Arsenal fans have another Sam. Right day, the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey. Sam Graham. Brooklyn United! Brooklyn United! Hit the fucking mute button!